Hey, it's Alexi, and in this video I'll be showing you how to get your Wavestation back to factory spec. Now, I'm not just talking about doing a factory reset. I'm talking about getting all the RAM banks back to the way they were when your unit left the factory. Now, I recently picked up this Wavestation SR for €150, which I think is a decent price for one of these in good working condition. It's a little bit beat up, but it's in decent shape for something that is from 1992, which would be around 34 years old by now. Now, when I got this home and plugged it in, I was surprised to find that the first three banks, the RAM banks, which you can modify, contained duplicates of presets from the ROM banks. So basically, this was missing 150 presets that, or performances they call them, that came on the unit when it left the factory. So this did not have stuff like ski jam or entropy or any of these legendary Wavestation presets. Now, another issue I had was that it basically, I felt like it didn't sound like it should. So it should have these evolving beautiful wave sequences and complex presets, and everything was kind of flat. So what I did was I started to look into how to actually get this reset back to the way it's really supposed to be. Now, in this video I'll be showing you how to find the information you need to check that your RAM banks are as they should be, where to find the necessary files you need to return it to factory spec, and how to actually get the files to transfer properly to your Wavestation. Now, what you will need for this operation is a computer, a MIDI interface, a MIDI cable, and software that can send sysex files. So let's get to it. Alright, I set everything up for the sysex transfer. So basically, I have my laptop off screen here, we have the Wavestation here, and then we have this Behringer Euphoria UMC 204 HD audio interface, which also acts as a MIDI interface. So that's what I'm using to transfer the MIDI files. Now, as you can see on the screen here, we have these classic presets here. We have ski jam, entropy, pinger, and if we go to the next bank, we have Pharaoh's Jig, City of Tomorrow, etc. And RAM 3 has Resobad 1, Unit Brass, etc. So this is as it should be from the factory. So we'll just go back to preset 1 and then scroll through all the ROM banks, because someone thought it would be a good idea to only have one bank button that just goes up. Okay, now the first thing you want to do if you have a Wavestation that you want to initialize or factory reset, you want to do the RAM initialization. So on the SR, you hold the down cursor, bank, edit, and yes. It's a bit of a finger gymnastics thing. You get to this menu here. You don't want to do anything else on here. You can see here, that's November 24th, 1992, I think. Version 1.15. We'll scroll with the left, the right cursor. There's enable show, don't enable anything on here. This is what you want, init all RAM. And then we have a button here, yes. Init all RAM, are you sure? Yes, let's do this now. And the Wavestation will reboot. So now what we are seeing here is a different performance here. Something diagnostic test wave or something. Ice vibes, Droid bass. These are basically duplicated from the ROM banks. So we get stuff like this that you should have elsewhere on the synthesizer as well in these ROM banks. Now, so if you want to check what your RAM bank should look like, you can find these documents, these are performance notes on Korg's website. Just search for Wavestation SR performance notes or whatever Wavestation you have, and you should find a similar document. Now this will show you all the presets that you, or performances that you should have in your RAM banks. So we would like to see Ski Jam here, where we have layers of funk. So that's definitely wrong, and we should have Pharaoh's Jig, where we have Life Goes On, and we should have Resobad 1, where we have Music Split. And scroll once more through the whole thing. Yes. So this is what we are looking for. And that's where I started to search for what I wanted. The best resource I could find was this Korg forums page here. They have downloads for all the Wavestations. Now these are sysex files that you can transfer to I think any Wavestation. So you can just download anything from here. There are different banks in addition to the factory banks. Now this is the only place I could actually find the SR all RAM file here. So this contains the factory banks RAM 1 and 2 that are in this one as well, but it also has the RAM 3 from the SR. And you also have the RAM 3 sysex files for the Wavestation AD and EX. So these are for different synths. You probably don't want the AD on your SR because it has the external input, so a lot of the presets won't work. I don't know if there will be issues with them, but they certainly won't work. So there's a whole lot of banks here that you can check out if you want to. We will stick with the SR all RAM. This download contains these files. There's a README that tells you what it is. It has all the performances patches, wave sequences for RAM 1, 2 and 3. The RAM 2 doesn't have wave sequences. And there's the SR performance map and the multisets files as well. So that's why you have these 5 files here. Now you want to transfer all of these to your Wavestation SR. Now the software I'm using for the sysex transfer is MIDI-OX. Now this is there's a free software. I think it's a bit outdated, but it still works. It's on Windows 11. This is a pretty handy way to send sysex files. So what we'll do here is we'll simply pick the RAM 1 here, double click. I have set it to be a default file for MIDI-OX, and we get this screen here where we have a sysex file, whole bunch of ones and zeros and some other numbers as well, and a few letters. Here we can choose to send sysex, but we first want to configure our sysex settings. Now most of the settings here I think are just default settings, but I did increase the delay between buffers to 100 milliseconds. Now this finally got me a successful transfer. I will show you what happens. Let's set this, I think it was 60 by default. So we'll try to send this one, and what you'll notice is we'll click send sysex, and we have write prot error, so write protection error. Our sysex file is not transferring because the Wavestation SR is not allowing the transfer. So we need to go into MIDI global and find a setting here. Let's see. Not here. Page global. Protect internal on. No, sets to off. So we want protect internal off. Now we should be able to send the sysex file. And we will send sysex and watch the screen. It should be receiving the sysex. And we get a timeout error. So I need key to continue, and it's still receiving sysex. And let's see what happens here. I don't know if it actually got stuck here. So what you might get is this bar moving very fast and then flashing a message fast enough that I couldn't read it, and that ended up with a corrupted transfer. So now I can't get out of this one at all. We'll have to reboot. So let's see what happens. So now we got back to our RAM 1 here. So nothing bad happened. And now when I got these errors in the transfer, I ended up with a corrupted bank. So I had like normal looking presets here, and then you got jumbled letters here, and then if I scrolled further, the Wavestation would reboot and just enter like an infinite reboot cycle, basically bricked. I was a little bit worried about that, but what I did was I removed the battery for a few minutes, and that reset the RAM or initialized the RAM, and everything was fine once more. So that's when I was able to do the sysex transfer again. So now we're going to here and configure our sysex transfer and go for 100 millisecond delay between buffers. And then we will send sysex again, and now we should be getting a successful transfer. So transfer was successful. That's when you know that it actually worked. So if you're not getting that successful message, it probably didn't work, and you might have a corrupted bank or no bank at all if you're lucky. So we are still receiving sysex, and transfer was successful, and now we have our RAM 1 presets as they should be. And then we need to go back to MIDI-OX and select RAM 2. So these are separate files, and you have to send each and every one of them. I'll probably fast forward through this process. And then we'll send the multimap. And one more file, which is the performance map here. And that's it. Now we have a factory condition Wavestation SR. We have all the presets that we should have here in RAM 1, RAM 2, all these gorgeous classics. So everything is as it should be. And so that's how you transfer sysex files to your Wavestation, and I think it's the same process for any Wavestation model.